This episode of the Haunted Road Trip Show is brought to you by evidential medium Tracy St. Croi. Are you ready to find solution, acceptance, and closure for the traumas and hurts you experience in this world? Visit www.tracystcroimedium.com and discover how an Arthur Finley College of Psychic Sciences trained evidential medium can provide life-changing experiences by connecting deceased loved ones with friends and family to achieve peace and closure. Welcome to the Haunted Road Trip Show, where we bring you powerful conversations, insights, and exciting site investigations that reveal the paranormal world in a way you've never seen before, up until now. Tune in and become part of a community that enjoys the thrill of finding out what the paranormal world wants to teach you and solve the issues. Be sure to visit our website at www.hauntedroadtripsshow.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, prepare to have your thirst for curiosity satisfied as you enjoy ghost stories, haunted house stories, and more.
This is Brandy.
Hi, everybody.
For everybody who doesn't know her.
So for those of you who don't know Tracy, who are on my page, this is Tracy St. Croi. She's a psychic medium as well. So, or I shouldn't say as well. She's a psychic medium. She also reads cards, and so she's here with me at the shop. And today we're talking about paranormal activity after we had a nice little conversation.
Yes.
About some activity that's been going on. So what do you want to start with?
It is Halloween, and you know that you can't flip on the channel, Travel Channel or Discovery Channel without seeing some kind of haunted this, haunted that, possessed this, doing this, and doing that. And while we were in the shop today, I shared a story about some paranormal activity that happened in my home last night that literally I was not happy about at all, which ended up being very scary tapping on my bedroom window. P.S. There are no trees, there are no bushes, there are nothing that would have interfered with that, and the wind does not make rapping noises and sounds of threes. And when I came into the shop...
So you got to tell first tell the story before you tell me. Talk about telling me. So go into what led to this.
What led to this conversation was we were talking about watching Halloween things. We were talking about watching all of the kind of ghost hunter style shows and the shows that talk about people's experiences with paranormal activity in their home. And I was telling Brandy how I was watching a few shows last night that I believe led to this activity, because being a sensitive, you're going to open up to that story that they're telling. You're going to connect with that energy, with the person who experienced the activity, and perhaps with the spirits that were interacting in these people's homes. And that is exactly what happened to me, and I was not happy about having my sleep disturbed like that last night. So, of course, this morning I took proactive action immediately in addressing that issue and promptly telling them whose property it was and that they were not allowed here or wanted in here at all. The activity ceased immediately, and I felt that leave. Then this morning what I did was I immediately got up, I saged my home, and then what I did was I took a certain spray that has like frankincense and sage and all kinds of goodies in it. And I went to every window and every door in the house, and I drew on their sacred protective symbols with the sage spray to virtually let everybody know, or spiritual energy know, that this house is protected with love and light. And that is what is here, and malicious and malice and trickster energy is not allowed here. So, Brandy, tell us about how watching the shows can affect a sensitive, or can bring that energy into somebody who's not aware that they're sensitive.
So here's the thing. I have a daughter who's 16, And the rule has always been, if it involves demons, demonic, any sort of energy, we don't watch it in my house. And here's the thing, is that whether or not you believe in these types of things, some people get excited, right? Like they watch scary things and they're like, oh yeah, they like being excited. The problem is that when you create that sort of energy in yourself, you create it in your environment. And if you've heard, like invites like. So things that match that vibrational frequency, you invite it in. So if you are in an energetic chaotic state, you are inviting in that energetic chaotic state. That's why you have things get invited in. So they say, like, how did this get in the house? It's an energetic thing, right? So when they say raise your vibrational frequency, because lower vibrational entities, whatever you want to call them, can't enter. Well, when you watch these scary things and you get into that erratic state, you create an environment where that thing can come in. So my rule has always been, like, if it's Halloween time, you want to watch Michael Myers, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that sort of thing, cool, right? That's fine. That's a different type of scary. When you start talking things like The Conjuring, oh hell no. We don't play that game.
No. Annabelle,
no.
All of that. Chucky,
no, thank you.
No.
Have a nice day. So the thing is that whether or not you believe in these entities or not, they still are there. They are very real. It is an energetic frequency, regardless of what you want to call it. Could it be someone from a past, experience that lived that type of life and now they are vibrating at that frequency? Yes. Okay. Does it necessarily mean it's a devil with a pitchfork and little horns running around in red? No. That's a whole different, that's a different story, folks. So the thing is that when you act and vibrate in this frequency, you invite it in. So when you're watching things like that, especially other people's personal experiences, like Tracy was watching, was a woman, it was her experience and her family's experience, you open yourself up. Does that necessarily mean that you're going to invite in that exact entity that they were dealing with? No. But you are inviting in and opening yourself up to other things that operate at that vibrational frequency. And that's not something I personally want to have. We had poltergeists in our house growing up that did things like messing with candles, moving things in front of you, not in front of you. Some of them were small. Well, I should say some. There was at least one that was a small little girl. There was another man, a guy, the man in the yellow shirt we were talking about, who was never aggressive towards my mother or my sisters, but towards my father was extremely aggressive, okay? So, and he didn't believe in any of this. Like, he did not believe in this type of thing until he experienced it. He tried to shoot the man in the yellow shirt.
Until he got a mirror thrown at him.
So, I mean, well, before that, he tried to shoot him, actually, because he thought there was an actual man in the backyard.
Because bullets can kill ghosts.
Yeah, he didn't realize that it was an actual entity. So they can appear to you in ways you can't imagine, just like somebody in front of you. But when you watch these things, you need to be very aware of the energetic state that you are in and the environment that you are creating, because you allow those things in. And when we're already in this time of year, Tracy, where the veil is very thin, that's not just an old saying. That's not some sort of fairy tale myth. Like, that's very true. The energy is very different right now. So when you watch these things, be very aware of what you allow into your space.
Yes, be very aware. And if you think like, okay, did I watch something that was scary? How do I know if it's going to affect me? Well, a couple of different ways is because it'll start looping in your mind. That scene, that noise, that sound, it'll replay in your mind again. So that's a sign that, like, I'm getting attached to something, right? So you could do simple things before you go to bed or you close down your house. Depending on the weather in your area, open up the windows, get some fresh air in there. Burn some sage, spray some sage sprays. Call in a holy prayer, whatever your spirituality, whatever your denomination is. Just say, this house is of love and light, and that's all that I choose to be in here.
And let me add to that. Guys, one of the things I hear people get caught up on is they're like, well, I can't say a prayer because I'm not a Catholic, or I can't say a prayer, that prayer, or I don't know what to say, or I looked up online and I'm not this or I'm not that. When you are dealing with energetic frequency, vibrational frequency, it's not like the vibrational frequency is going to be like, I know you're secretly a Methodist, so that doesn't work. Like, you go with the energy. You combat it with a higher vibrational frequency, prayers, thoughts, affirmations, meditations, any type of energy that you're sending out into your actual environment, pushes those things out where they cannot physically stay. And this is more than just like metaphysical woo-woo. This is physics. That's why sage. You are literally smoking it out. You are creating an energetic state in which that thing
cannot live.
Yeah, it can't. And by live, it can't be in there physically. You're not going to necessarily kill it. You're just going to displace it. But you want to make sure you displace it off of your property, not from one room to another. So
yeah,
I just wanted to add that. Go ahead.
Now, and you can even take a salt bath. You can do whatever you are feeling called to do. And if you continue to have, paranormal activity in your home that you just can't, figure out, or it's too much, it's taking an emotional toll on you, a psychological toll, things are amping up, it's getting scary for your loved ones, your pets, that you are in there. There's a couple of different things that I will highly advise you to do. Please reach out to a highly qualified medium. No offense, not a psychic. You need a medium.
Yeah.
To be able to communicate with the energies that are around your environment. Or contact a highly qualified shaman that can come into your home and see what is energetically going on there. See what the non-ordinary realities are that might be so subtle that you can't pick up on. Those are two combative ways that you can do that, because I get calls all the time of families and people scared of being in their homes, and usually it's a very simple reasons that these energies are reaching out. They're either wanting attention, they need help to be crossed over, they're trying to be protective of the family, because not every paranormal activity is trying to hurt you or trying to cause harm. Sometimes they're trying to be overprotective. Sometimes they're like the overbearing helicopter mom, and we just have to set some boundaries with them. So, highly qualified medium, highly qualified shaman if you're experiencing paranormal activity that is above and beyond your measures to banish, basically, from your home onto that. Anything else on that topic?
Yeah,
Brandy?
so there's two things I want to add. One, if you're not familiar, mediums actually deal with those that have crossed over. A psychic is not always a medium. A medium is always a psychic. And so you need to know who you're dealing with. Okay, so if somebody, like I don't do mediumship work. I do it through cards. So I can bring messages through, but I'm not going to actually go deal with someone who is on the other side, okay? That's one thing. So you need to find, when she talks about medium, there's a difference between someone who works with those who've crossed over and someone who may communicate messages, however, but isn't actually physically working energetically. Both, it's not an exchange of information. That's a whole different, that's mediumship. Okay, so there's that. The second thing, when it comes to, I lost my train of thought all of a sudden because I was talking.
You were talking about something real juicy.
Okay, so the
and good.
mediumship, so that's the number one. And then the other thing we were talking about, you were talking about the shaman.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So when Tracy talks about there are different types of entities, right? Some of them may be your loved ones who are trying to communicate with you. And the big thing, what I would recommend is when you do get into a state of fear, or when there's physical things happening.
Yes.
Okay, so if you have, like, for instance, like I was talking about the man in the yellow shirt that was in my house when we were growing up. He would do things like the flames on the candles would go all the way out and then shoot back up, like when we were around. Like, it was that sort of thing, right? It was nothing that was, ill intention. There was no harm being done. We would have things moved, that sort of thing. That's one thing. When you start having mirrors come off the wall and smash over people's heads in the middle of the room, that's a different thing. That is when it is no longer in your hands. If you are not trained to deal with that, you need to find someone who is, okay? So if you start experiencing things of a physical nature against yourself, that's when things get, that's not tricks or
scratches,
energy.
Punches, pushes, pulls.
You are physically being manipulated in a way, touched, anything like that. You're experiencing things. You're seeing things that are scary. That is a different type of energy and entity that it's time to go. When you say hell no, it's time to go. That means it's
Bye,
time to go find
Felicia.
somebody else. Yes. Don't try and deal with that yourself, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can basically piss them off. And when you piss them off, things can get worse. And so that's the time to go. That we don't play with that. No. That's what I wanted to add. It's the difference between a medium and a psychic, number one. And number two, do not try and deal with something you are not qualified to deal with, because you can inadvertently cause more problems for yourself, and you might even actually open up your home and yourself, your environment, to even more things. And that's just, no, we're not playing that. I don't play bad juju. No.
We want you guys to feel safe in your home, because that's what everybody deserves to be able to feel. They deserve to be able to feel safe from physical harm and safe from any kind of spiritual or energetic harm in their home. I see we have a bunch of comments, but guys, we're sitting so far away from the camera, we can't see them. But we thank you so much for tuning in, because, this time of year, everybody's trying to mess around with a little something because they want to talk to their friend and they want to do this and they want to mess around with that. Please just
leave it to the professionals.
Leave it. No Ouija boards in the house, please, dear God.
So here's the thing about Ouija boards. We're going to get on that. I've been anti-Ouija board for a long time. I've always told my daughter, you bring a Ouija board in this house, I'm throwing your ass out. Okay? Because Ouija boards is not communication with a direct person. That is opening up something to communicate with anything. And when you do that, you've invited things in that you don't even know what it is. It might tell you that it's Great-Grandpa Joe, and it is not Great-Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe.
So we're not saying, and when I say leave it to the professionals, you can work on these things yourself, right? Like, we always want to connect with the people who are on the other side that we love, but you have to do it in a responsible way and know how to do it and get the proper training, even if you self-train, right? But you want to make sure that you're doing it through proper teachers. And the reason being is because if you don't, you basically Ouija board it, which is, let me just open myself up and hopefully Grandpa Joe comes through and you don't have Grandpa Joe.
It's like, Ouija board is the equivalent to opening up all your doors and windows in your house, taking a bullhorn and announcing you got free food and beer.
No.
You don't know what's going to show up.
Yeah.
So, be consciously aware of what you're doing with that. But we just felt compelled to do this and, have a safe and happy Halloween. And, if you have any questions, come check us out here at Red Feather Healing in Universal City, now open. Both me and Brandy are accepting appointments here. DM us both for any further information, or if you want more information about the topic that we're talking on. We'd be glad to discuss anything with you. But in the meantime, go pick out on as much chocolate as you want. And chocolate. Pumpkin spice lattes, right? Yes.
Yes.
As you guys want. You guys are awesome. Thanks for having a great show with us. And if you want us to pop in again, let us know. Send us some DMs about some topics you might want to see me and Brandy talk about together, because we absolutely love you guys.
Thank you for tuning into the Haunted Road Trips show, where we share powerful conversations, insights, and exciting site investigations that reveal the paranormal world in a way you've never seen before, up until now. Remember to visit our website at www.hauntedroadtripsshow.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Haunted Road Trips show. And remember, paranormal history is dying to be heard.